Hey guys, how are you? Hey Terry, nice to have you on stream. Quite early. Welcome everyone. Okay, good. So I think today we have a very interesting lesson. It's quite applicable to various kinds of scenarios, and it's one I think pretty much keeps everyone busy at some point in their lives. It's centered around the concept of improvement, of course, and yeah, I know all of you are quite dedicated to the process of getting better at chess, so I won't waste a lot of your time, and we're going to get into it. I don't know if you guys know Savielly Tatakova, and Tatakova is quoted as having said, after playing a game, that he felt that he possessed in huge quantities the primary condition for success in a tournament, which was the power to see clear and deep. The most important attribute for any chess player is the ability to calculate variations quickly and accurately, and without this particular ability, it becomes very hard to discuss further concepts like strategy, deep plans, and so on. And I want to show you some examples to make this much more clear before I get into the reason why I'm mentioning it. It seems quite obvious, but I think at a deeper level, it's not as obvious as it is. Okay. So the first game we're going to look at is a game in which Karpov playing white loses, and he loses because he fails to see just a simple idea, and I will take you through it. So it's one of the shortest games I've actually seen Karpov lose. And so after d4, black goes knight f6, c4, e6. I just want to state that Greywood, thank you so much for resubbing. Really appreciate. Thank you. And what I want to say is that when someone plays d4 at the beginning of a game, their next aim really is to play e4, and that's really the aim. Oh, Dash is moving to Cape Town, so he's really doing his move. He won't be able. We'll have him in a few days. He's here, but he's just moving into his new apartment. So when someone plays d4, you're sure they want to play e4, and you must know this. That's why you get openings where black plays d5, or when you play e4, black plays e5, because he doesn't want to allow you to get this d4 move in. I don't know how chess can even do that. So after d4, black goes knight f6 to prevent him to push e4, and after c4, he's got time, but really they're still fighting out for this square on e4. So the idea is this, right? Let's say black goes g6 and white goes knight c3. There's no stopping this move, and e4 is going to come. So here black will have to settle to play the King's Indian, and e4 comes, which is a different battle. But the essential idea behind e6 is that, let's say now you play knight c3 to push e4, black will be able to play this bishop b4, and now you can't push e4. So a game of chess is this conversation about I want to push e4 or I want to push d4, and your opponent is busy refusing you this particular privilege. But here white goes knight f3, he's being a bit subtle about it. He's going to play g3, bishop g2 castles and fight for e4 later. So black wants to contest e4 as much as possible, so he puts the bishop to oppose this bishop on g2. So it goes a3. a3 is played to prevent the move we spoke about earlier. After knight c3, bishop b4 is annoying, so he plays a3 instead. Now, instead of going to b7, which would be very direct and maybe not even that smart, black employs an interesting idea. He goes bishop here. Now, this move, now if you play e3, it means your bishop is no longer going to this diagonal. If you play knight d2, then your knight is not optimum and it's blocking your bishop. If you play queen c2, then d4 is no longer as strong as it was. So there's a lot going on already at the beginning. So white goes queen c2 to protect c4. At the same time, white is aiming for this move to push e4. Black goes bishop b7. Now you can push e4. So now he goes knight c3. Again, now he's ready to push e4. And black now has got a challenge. How does he prevent e4? And the most direct way is to play d5. Immediately just saying, no, you can't play e4, right? So c5 is played instead. And now notice how, because the queen is no longer here. At the beginning, I told you these pawns are very important to keep strong in the center. Now, because the queen is no longer protecting, black is doing what we call undermining. So he undermines the square, the d4 one. Hey, Kiara, welcome. And takes on d4. And after knight takes d4, black goes knight c6. Again, taking advantage of the fact that the queen is no longer in the center. Black does not move backwards. It's very important. He keeps the show going forward, right? Takes on c6. And after takes, white goes bishop to f4. He's developing his minor pieces. He's at a point where now, first of all, he's preventing a pawn to d6. He can play rook d1 and is putting pressure. Now, black goes knight to h4. Now, this is the first time in which black is doing something a bit funny in the position. It's not necessarily a blunder, but at the same time, it doesn't really serve the purpose of what black is supposed to be doing. The simplicity of it is he's supposed to be developing his minor pieces, castling and connecting the rooks. Now, having noted that this is a slight mistake, what does white do here? How does white deal with this issue? Bishop e2 would lose the bishop on f4, so that would be an oversight. Hey, Hobek, welcome. Castles long would lose the bishop on f4. Come on, guys, those are rookie mistakes. Don't just guess a series of moves without actually thinking about them. Because if your opponent makes a mistake, you still have to punish it in practice. So what would be the correct move here? It's not a blunder. the move will violate a principle of moving backwards for sure. But you have a justification, and this is something I really want you to understand. Once your opponent violates principles, it gives you ground to also violate them too. Okay, so yeah, correct. Bishop e3 is the correct idea. And now, this is the mistake that a couple of moves makes, and he loses the game immediately. So I want to see who can spot why it's a mistake. Why is bishop to d6 a mistake? Chase, stop guessing every move. You need to pinpoint an idea, and once you've pinpointed the idea, that's what you play. In chess, you don't get a lot of options. You don't get to make a mistake and then go, oh, okay, I'll play this and then I'll play that. You have to treat your practice like it's a playing scenario. And this is what I was saying, is that if you really want to improve, the first area of improvement is tactics. If you are not seeing tactics, and you see with the case study, the Derek Jones case study, which we're going to look at, that the guy moved from 1,000 rated points to 1,400 just by practicing tactics, right? So if there's a 400 point rating potential in tactical exercises, that's the first thing we want to sort out, because it's easy to gain that. And you'll notice most games are lost because failure to see these ideas. So this one is a simple one, but so far no one has been able to show me the move. Very simple. What is the move that white found here, which wins the game instantly? It's not knight b5. Come on, guys, you can do this. You can do this. Queen d1, well done here. Queen d1 is difficult to see because it's a backward move. Attacks the knight, attacks the bishop. But it's an important idea to spot it, because if you're not spotting it, you're making tactical mistakes, and it just kind of proves the point of what I was saying. It's almost not worth it to learn more advanced stuff if you are missing winning simple ideas. Then your focus should be on those tactics until you are not making them. An easy place to gain more rating, just ironing your tactics. And you could do this daily. It doesn't have to be like all of it gets handled in one sitting. This you can do 5-10 puzzles a day, and already you are improving this. Just to show you, like how no one is immune to this. Okay, so let's see if we can do this, and we're looking at this from a Black's from White's perspective. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Okay, so if you look at this position, I'm going to give you a bit of time. So the person who's playing Black is Kasparov, and the person who's playing White is Judith Polgar. This is a very famous game for all the wrong reasons. So Kasparov was playing Black, and this is before we were covering tournaments live. So Kasparov touched the knight, right? You can see that, okay, Black is better already. He needs to play a move like knight g4, threatening ideas like knight f2 check, queen f4, and he's clearly winning. So Black is clearly winning. There's no doubt about that. But you might have heard about this game because it caused so much noise after apparently he moved the knight to c5 and let it go. But it was so quick that he realized that this was a blunder, and then he moved it to f8. So my challenge to you is not necessarily to say, did he move the piece or did he not move the piece? I want you to tell me, what did he realize was the problem with moving the piece to c5 instead of moving the piece to f8? That's what I want you to tell me. I want you to identify the reason why he was like, okay, let me change the destination of this piece to f8. High profile game. Wonder if I can tell when this game was played actually. 1994 in Linares. That's when this game was played. If you are a football fan, you can liken this to Maradona's Hand of Gold, in which Maradona is supposedly should have scored. I think he scored by hand, and it counted and made the difference. Okay, who can spot the idea? Dinafrio thinks knight f. Why did he stop? So my question is, why did he realize that knight c5 was a blunder? And that's what you need to be able to pinpoint, like, oh, why was knight c5 a blunder? Why did he decide to move the knight to f8 instead of c5? enough. Bishop c3, bishop c6. Both of you guys, I think I mean that bishop c6. Yes, bishop c6, well done. Enough, well done, grey out. The reason was, if he played knight c5, this move cuts off the effect or the protection of the rook on c6, correct here. And suddenly, white has this equalizing move with bishop c6, and after queen h4, bishop e8, knight g4, there would be this check intermediate move, king takes, and after queen d5 check, king f8 and queen a8 check, and the perpetuals would not end, and what black would have lost his chance to win the game. So I can just imagine Kasparov didn't like losing, so I can imagine him definitely doing it, and I would probably bet on the fact that he did it. Anyway, he moved his knight to f8, and suddenly this bishop maneuver is not possible because the rook protects c6. And after knight e4, knight d7, take, and after taking on b6, which is a waste of time, I want you to identify a move that is good for black attacking wise here. How does black carry out his attack? I might have hinted some ideas to you before. Queen a2. Now queen a2 would be so far away from the goal, right? You want to be in the thick of things where the fight is happening. The first thing we look at is the king does not have defenders, so we need to suddenly introduce a lot of attackers. Already there is 3 attackers that can get through to the king, so it means the attack must work. Not rook b8. G3 is a very white to move. It's black. We're looking for moves for black. Hey Terry. Not queen g4. Queen g4. Hey Frappuccino, welcome. We're looking for a move for black here. And the longer these kind of exercises take you, the more clear it should become to you that your tactical vision is very low. And what you might think I'm losing because of the end game, or I'm losing because I don't see strategy, might just be the fact that you're not actually good tactically. And that's easy to improve. Very easy to improve. Well done, Dina. It's knight to g4. And Kasparov found this move, of course. This was his forte. So white goes rook to f1. Black goes e4. Black should have played knight f2, checked. And after rook takes is just piece up, because now if queen takes, there is queen to d1 mate. So this is something that Black overlooked and played e4. Bishop d5, e3, bishop b3, queen e4, bishop c2, queen c2, rook d8, rook d8, queen d8, king here, queen to e7. Now here, an important juncture. Let's see if you can identify the correct move for white. It's very tricky. Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes. Let's see if you can identify it. It's not queen f, it's black to play. Black to play and win. And this is the point I'm saying, is like, your improvement might not be as deep and complex as you think. Whatever is holding you, it might just be that you're not good tactically, you're not looking, you're not seeing, you're not learning to calculate better. At which point, even just a week of proper exercises on how to calculate would make a huge difference. Position completely winning for black. But how does he finish it off? Rapacino, show me. If this is not, if you know, like, I would suggest even reduce the amount of time you're spending on openings if this is not working. If you're not able to spot these ideas, really put some time. Not queen e2, no, not queen e2. Okay, queen e2, king g1, and there's nothing here. We've lost the whole advantage, and suddenly white is drawing. Queen b2 is a waste of time, and after queen f7, you're no longer winning. In fact, it's just, its minimum is already got a perpetual. So not the correct move. Queen Yeah, queen e2 also. No, that's not it. E2, nope. After rook e1, you've got no continuation now. Let's say if you played queen d1, the e2 pawn is falling, the queen is coming to take the pawn, and the best you have is knight f2 check, king g1, knight e4, and h4. There's nothing here. Okay, so it's not e2, it's not knight f2 check. After king g1, you've got nothing again. This is not even a trick question. This is just a game, right? So there's probably about 400 points of your rating just tucked away in that inability to see opportunities of a tactical nature in a position. And that's what you are, first and foremost, that's what you're trying to unlock. Well done, Dinafri. Queen c4. It's a very clever move. Now, I want you to notice the difference. When we went queen e2, black went king g1, and it's equal. It's about looking for perpetual now. If you go queen c4, if black goes king g1, then there's e2. Now, remember, e2 didn't work because of rook e1. The difference now is that white has this move, queen d4 check. And if you recall, after king g1, there would be besides knight f2, knight h3, queen g1, smoother mate. There would be another winning idea here, which is queen f4, threatening here, threatening here. Okay, so queen here. So queen c4, actually, king g1. Oops, sorry. King g1 and e2, rook e1, queen check, and here white resigned because a smoother mate cannot be stopped. Okay, so clearly winning for black, but the problem that you see in both these examples I showed you was that they were both missing very small tactical. I mean, one was Kasparov, who missed it first, and then the other one was Karpov. These are both world champions, and these are the areas that most people really struggle, or at least a lot of their rating is locked up in. And the case study we will be studying this week, or will be following this week, will be a guy called Derek Jones. I think we'll finish him tomorrow. This guy was 1,000 in rating, and we're going to look at his games and how he was playing, and the effect it had after he had looked at tactical work. And your task today is to go and look at your puzzle rating here on Lichess and raise it by 200 points. That's really your task until we start again tomorrow. So for today, we'll end here and give you at least some food for thought. And then we'll carry on with Derek Jones' games tomorrow. I hope this was instructive. And let's just find someone to raid. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay. And for those who want to see where you stand in terms of our lessons giveaway in Stream Elements, I'm going to share. It's a pleasure. Let's just wait everyone in the chat. Okay, so for those who don't know, we developed a system which rewards you, people who watch the stream, and it's over here, and it works like this. If you watch, you gain points. There's a couple of things that you can do to gain points, and when your points reach 1,000, you get a lesson tailor-made for you and the areas you are struggling with, and we do that. So you just have to raise your points to 1,000 points and you can claim your lesson. And yeah, I've got some new stuff which is coming up soon. So anyway, I'll keep you posted. So now we just need to find someone who we can raid together. And there's a few I'm looking. We can raid Fionketa. She's really one of our supporters. Fionketa. Okay, and we're going to raid Fionketa now.